Hello and welcome to week 2 of my road trip. So technically this is still week 1 because it took us 2 days to drive from California to Alabama, but because this is coming out another week, I'm just calling it week 2. Previous vlog covers like driving and the scenic stuff, and then this week was spent with family, so there's not much video, but there was a lot of interesting things that happened, so I'm just gonna take you guys along with me and hope you enjoy.
I don't want to touch it.
Then don't touch them. So for our first full day in Alabama, we went walking on our favorite path in the whole state, and my brother found a little turtle. This day it was so hot, so humid, so we stopped at the gas station and got this cool little avocado bagel. I'm a California girl, I always go for avocado, and this was very good. Also, this is my dog and my grandpa's little dog. They are just so cute. And this first day we were in Alabama was actually also my grandpa's birthday, so we went to pick him up a pool table, had to disassemble it and everything ourselves. And there's this cute dog there, and on the way home we saw this gorgeous sunset. Something about like southern sunsets, right? And we got home and completely crushed, even the dog. So bright and early the next day, in order to make room for the pool table, we had to move a lot of my grandpa's furniture into storage, and so this is a little terrible fit check. So I did get lost in the storage facility. My first time in there, I definitely did get a little twisted around. When I tell you it was hot today, it was so hot. We were sweating our butts off, and afterwards we had to go to Freddy's and get some good old custard. So later that day, we went to this really cool restaurant, the Salty Cod, which was like an English style restaurant. And so of course we took pictures with the phone booth out front, which was really fun. And the food was really good. And my whole family of like 10 went, which was really fun. And then on the way out, we saw this beautiful rainbow, which was so cool. A double rainbow even. So next day was Wednesday, July 2nd, and we had to drop my uncle off at the airport. So me, my dad, my grandpa, and of course my uncle drove up to the airport, and because his flight was delayed, we got Waffle House. Very good, 10 out of 10. We also got to see my aunt, who works TSA, at the airport and hang out with her for a minute, which was really cool. So after that, we drove down to my great aunt and uncle's house and hung out and sat with them for a while. Usually when we go over, my great aunt makes this huge, big, wonderful meal, but because we came on short notice, we were just hanging out. Also, this is my aunt and uncle's dog. So cute. So this next day was also pretty chill. It was the day before 4th of July, so we went and picked up some Sonic, of course, and went to Sam's Club and got some groceries and stuff. Also, this was the last day my little brother was in town because he had to get back to work before the 4th of July, so us cousins went out at like midnight and set off some fireworks as a little pre-4th of July celebration.
You don't even care. You can probably see that from the house.
So obviously the next day was 4th of July, and keeping in theme with the rest of this trip, it started pouring rain, but we'll get to that in a second. So before that, we had a beautiful sunset, and I did my makeup because all the other girlies were doing it. So then the rain started.
We were just about to hit the road to go see fireworks.
We were a little worried the fireworks would get canceled due to the downpour, but as in true American fashion, they carried on. Afterwards, we drove home, and my grandpa was teaching my dad how to use his fancy little milkshake machine, while the rest of us had some good old-fashioned ice cream in a bowl. The next day was pretty chill. We went to Lowe's to grab something, and of course got a soda on the way back. However, one of my grandpa's favorite things to do when we come over is to do a little bonfire. Like, he saves up cardboard and wood all year for this. So, of course, we spent all night outside lighting more fireworks and hanging out by the bonfire. Ooh.
I'm singing on signs where I play.
I think we all stayed up so late that night because it was the last time we'd be able to see each other for a while, and it was just such a memorable, cool night. But the next morning we were on the road by 7 a.m. heading to Illinois with a stop in Tennessee to go to church. I will say I don't often get to go to the adult services at church because I volunteer in the children's ministry, but we went to this church in Tennessee, Church of the City, I think, and it was so good. The people were so friendly, the message was good, the worship was great, and we just had a blast. So after that, we were looking for a good place in Tennessee to get breakfast, but surprisingly, we struck out. So we ended up hitting up a fast food place, but we drove a couple hours then to Illinois and passed through a few states on our way, crossed a couple bridges, and yeah. So along with the church services, we also aimed to get to Illinois on the day we did because we were planning on going to a concert. So we went and saw Chris Tomlin, which you will see some videos from that later on, but it was so much fun and it was great to see my grandparents and my aunt again, and I love this greenery. So on the way to Illinois, we went on probably the scariest bridge I've ever been on. It was made out of grates. It sounded like you were literally on a roller coaster, and it was kind of grabbing the tires, so we were kind of rocking back and forth as we drove up the bridge, which is scary because it was so narrow, but it was a pretty color. Whoa. So as we made it into Illinois, my grandparents told us about this super cute little town called Metropolis, which I guess is also known as Superman Town. So of course we stopped and we took pictures, and it was so cool. And then, as on theme with this whole trip, it started sprinkling a little bit, and then it started raining a little bit more. And then the concert was delayed for hours because it was raining so much. This was us in the parking lot of the concert. If you can't tell, the venue is directly in front of us. But along with rain comes rainbows, as still on theme with this trip, and we got to see the most beautiful sunset and rainbows, and we still got to see the concert, just a few hours late.
Thank you so much, seriously, thank you so much. And all of you just, stayed and sit in your car for a couple hours and all the things. It means a lot, And I hope your hearts have been lifted up tonight.
Good morning, I'm getting ready right now. It is 9:20. We got back to the hotel at 1, and we all pretty much passed out. That's a little update. We're currently in Glen Carbon, Illinois. I don't know what we're doing today. Tomorrow we're going to a baseball game, but today I have no idea what we're doing. But we're here to visit my grandparents, so we'll probably hang out with them. I'm tired and my eyes hurt because I kept falling asleep in my contacts, so that's the update for today. Also, my dog got a haircut and, bro, no hate to the groomer. I'm sure she was following instructions, but this was the before. My poor dog looks so silly.
That must be a great option. And then she said,
So then we went to the Pink Elephant Antique Mall, which is actually where my mom went to high school. They turned it into a little antique place and restaurant, and it's really cool, and they have good ice cream and food. So we stopped there with my grandparents and hung out. And a few hours later, we picked up some pizzas from Casey's and spent the night hanging out with my uncle. Good morning. It is day 2 of being here in Illinois. Yes, well, I guess it's day 3. Yesterday we just hung out with family. I got to see my uncle's new house and it was gorgeous, but my cousin is out of town, so I didn't get to see her. Anyway, so today we don't have really anything planned. Yeah, we're probably going down to St. Louis today, which is like an hour away, because we're going to a Cardinals game tonight. We're trying to think of something to do in St. Louis. It is like 9 o'clock right now, so I'm getting ready to go down to have breakfast. This is the food for today. So I also don't know if I mentioned this already, but there has been terrible rain across the south. So yesterday it didn't rain at all, and we got to spend some time outside getting eaten alive by mosquitoes because me and my dad are like mosquito magnets, and it's supposed to rain today. I hope it doesn't rain too like it did previous days because it was so bad. It's also 80 degrees here. And as a Californian who's used to like manufactured weather, this is hard for me. This is not very fun for me. So we ended up going to a pottery painting place with my mom, my grandma, my little sister, and me. And if you know what I painted on my cup, you're a real one. My mom ordered us some cool drinks and we just had a blast here. She made this beautiful little cross box, and then we picked up some McDonald's on the way to pick up my aunt, and I got this Cardinals cup, which was really cool because we were on our way to the Cardinals game. Once again, it was raining. It was pouring rain, so the game was delayed. We were worried it wasn't even gonna start, but it was delayed until 9 p.m. It was cool to see like them setting up the game, and to be sitting in the rain for a baseball game was an interesting experience. And of course, we saw a beautiful rainbow for sunset, and it was really cool.
I told you, Krista, I told you.
So after the game, it was past midnight when we snuck on over to the Gateway Arch. We didn't know it was closed. The park ranger did tell us off, but we got to see the arch, and it is always so cool to see these insanely huge things in person. Like, it puts into perspective the creativity and the ability of humans to do these amazing, crazy things, and it was just a really cool experience. So we got to bed around 1:30, and the next morning we got up once again bright and early to head to the next place, which you guys can see in the next vlog. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Check out my description for everything else, and bye!